Hi guys, and welcome back to the Ginger Realtor Mates. Obviously, we are on the social distancing edition of the episode. Today we have Jason Caro from LandQuest Title. Jason, thank you very much for joining us today.
Thank you for having me.
Jason is one of the unsung heroes, and obviously his colleagues are the unsung heroes of the real estate purchase and sale process, in that they work on the title side of things. So, Jason, for those of us who don't know exactly what it is you do, what exactly do title agents do in the real estate transaction?
Well, title insurance obviously is one of the most misunderstood types of insurance. We kind of play a background role, but unlike car insurance, life insurance that protect you against future events, title insurance actually protects you against things that happen in the past. So what we do as title agents is we run searches that go 60 years back on the property. So we do any sort of mortgage searches, tax searches, any sort of liens that could be on the property, any sort of judgments that the sellers may have that could attach to the home property. We make sure that you have a clean title. So that means when you go to sell the house after purchasing it, there's nothing that can keep you from doing so.
Now, you mentioned a clean title. What can be the detriment of not having a clean title and not doing a title search?
So the detriment could be that you might not be the rightful owner of that property. We've seen it where there's forgery and fraud in the past, where a simple error in the clerk's office, not recording mortgages and deeds correctly. We search to make sure that you are the rightful owner.
Okay, so you do all the background and the digging. Obviously, you give people the option to insure against any error. Is that a kind of you know how businesses are, they'll throw in insurance here and there just to kind of fluff their accounts. Is it something you would recommend, or is it kind of one of those things you can do without?
I think it's something I would definitely recommend, only because the cost is a one-time fee. So as long as you own that house, you have that protection. It protects against a whole array of things, but not only is it protecting you, if you're taking a mortgage out on the property as well, the lender's getting protection as well. So in a lot of cases where there is, a mortgage involved in the purchase, it is a requirement that's, on the lender's part anyway. But even in cash purchases, I'd say for the relatively minimal cost, I think the benefits definitely outweigh that.
No, and look, that was a loaded question. As a real estate agent, I wanted to put that out there. I always recommend that people take the insurance, because the last thing you want to do is have someone's admin error cost you your house. Now, how expensive is title insurance for people who are buying a house? Is it set in stone as this is X, this is Y, this is Z, or does it all vary on what you have to do?
Well, there's actually a rate table that's mandated to us by the New Jersey Department of Banking and Insurance. So it actually goes based off the sales price of the home. So as you get higher, the scale gets higher. So, roughly I could say just off the top of my head, you're looking at probably just under like 1% of the sales price is probably what you're looking at in premium.
Okay, that's not too bad then. Now, obviously, as someone who's gone through the sales process multiple times, I always find that there's a title agent there on the day of closing. What is their responsibility on the day of closing, for those of us who don't know?
Well, on the day of closing, a lot of things happen on the back end. We do, first and foremost, we have to run a rundown search. The rundown search basically is searching from the day that the title order was placed to the day of closing. We just want to make sure that no liens or anything were taken out on the property in that 30 to 60, 45 days, whatever it may be. We make sure all payoffs are collected for any old debts. And basically we just orchestrate the closing between the real estate agent, the lender, the attorney. And we actually act as a settlement agent. So we'll at the closing table, we'll act as, the notary. And then post-closing, we'll actually make sure that all funds associated with the transaction are dispersed. So, the attorney will get paid, the lender, if any monies are owed there, et cetera.
Obviously, the real estate agent gets paid as well.
The real estate agent, yeah.
That's the important one, yeah. We're living in a time of a pandemic, and COVID-19 is on everybody's mind right now. that closing room can be quite a busy place for if you've got a husband and a wife, and you've got a listing agent or a sales agent, and you've got an attorney. How are things different for you now in the time of COVID? How are you able to work in a time where you're not supposed to be with it?
Yeah, I mean, closings were always definitely a very personal thing. There's always a lot of people in the room congratulating each other, handshaking, pictures together. That's completely changed since the pandemic started. You know, I always say this, that, you know, our biggest responsibility is to keep our staff, our clients, and everybody else involved as safe as possible. So we've become very, very creative in the way we handle closings. You know, we've gone as far as doing drive-through closings where, you know, the documents will be explained via Zoom, via Skype, by the attorney to their clients. They show up to our office. One of our closers, you know, will hand off the closing documents that were already pre-explained to them, marked where they need to sign. We collect the documents from them, and they could be on their way. So it's kind of, it went from a very personal gathering type of thing to now it's more of, we're trying to limit exposure in all ways.
So there you go. So that's a really good insight into the title thing. One question that just kind of cropped up as we were talking. Obviously, I mean, is title a kind of a preset time period? So I'm closing on my house in 30 days. At what point should I be ordering title? And does it differ from transaction to transaction based on the background of each house?
Yeah, I mean, it definitely varies. A lot of properties have a lot of things that need to be corrected before they can be purchased. Especially we see here in, you know, especially here in northern New Jersey, where I'm located. You know, properties have a long history. There's a lot of old properties. There was a lot of owners, a lot of transfers of ownership, and, you know, it could be anywhere from, you know, from 30 days, but, you know, if there's a lot of things that need to be addressed first, you know, it could be 60 days. So it definitely varies transaction to transaction, but we typically are seeing people ordering title probably roughly like 30 days, you know, prior to the closing date, just to give everybody enough time to get things in order.
Now, how is title search being impacted? I know that from a day-to-day perspective, the closing has been impacted. Obviously, as you said, you've got drive-by signings and things like that. But I imagine with a lot of towns in New Jersey being on lockdown, that actually getting the information with regards to title insurance and liens and things like that has become a little bit more difficult.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we've seen it, and it varies from county to county, but we've seen it where, you know, a lot of counties had, since their actual physical buildings were closed to the public, to the searchers, to almost everybody, that they had to rely on their online databases of information. So, for instance, here where I'm located in Morris County, you know, they have a very substantial amount of information that they can access online, where other counties, none in particular that I want to mention, but
Go on,
are a little so their systems aren't as up to date. So you know, things took a little bit longer to get information. We had to rely on our vendor partners a little more in order to get things closed.
Okay, so look, I want to thank you very from the bottom of my heart. Obviously, I know that you're busy at the moment with everything that's going on. So thank you for stopping by today.
Absolutely. Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
For anybody who wants the information for Jason's company, the link will be kind of like, where is it, down here under his face when the video is edited. Jason, from the bottom of my heart, thank you for stopping by with the Ginger Realtor Meets.
Thank you.